Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? Yes, our next step related to the past tense is the past continuous tense. As we had already discussed about the present continuous. So past continuous is same like the present continuous tense, as the continuous means not finishing sentence or in the working process, something like that. But this all events and all this situation, all the condition, it is happened in the past. So by the name of the sentence or by the name of the tense, you can understand the meaning of this sentence. Past means something happened in the past. Continuous means the events, the conditions occurred in the continuing form. They are not finished. They are in continuous form. So past continuous means something happened in the past but in the continuous situation. So let's have some definition. So past continuous tense is used to describe the action ongoing in the past. This is the key word in the definition. Describe the action ongoing in the past. So it is not an action that is finished or that is happened in the past. Yes, it happened in the past, but it is ongoing. For example, I was playing. So I was playing. I am not stopped, but still playing, but in the past. He and she was playing. You were playing. So it means that these actions are ongoing, but were shows that this actions is used in past. So past continuous tense is used to describe the events, the action that is ongoing in the past. So after discussing the definition about the past continuous, it is easy for you to discuss the two main questions, which is the how we make that, what is the structure of the past continuous tense and what is the use of past continuous tense. Student, tense is not as difficult as the student make it so that tenses are very difficult. No, only you can understand the concept of the definition, the structure and the use. These are the three main important points that students have to use in discussing the tenses. So after discussing the definition, the past continuous tense is also an important tense in the English. We use it to say what we were in the middle of doing at the particular moment in the past. So something happening in the past or something ongoing in the past we will discuss in this type of tense. In this lesson we could look at the structure and the use of the past continuous tense. Okay, now our first question is the how we make the past continuous tense. It means that what is the structure of the past continuous tense. Yes, this is the structure of the past continuous tense. The subject. Number one is the subject, which is the doer of the sentence. Then the auxiliary verb be is used along, conjugated in the simple past tense. Remember, you also use the was and were in the past tense. So these auxiliary verb is also used in the past continuous tense. So it is same as the past simple past tense. These auxiliary verbs, was is used for the singular one and were is used for the plural ones, along with the main verb. What is main verb? Main verb is the present participle. As in the present continuous tense, we also discussed that along with the ing we use the base, which is the first form of the verb. So base plus ing is the main verb in the past continuous tense, but along with this auxiliary verb was and were. So these two auxiliary verbs are used along with the main verb. So this is the structure that how we make the past continuous tense. Yes. Now what happened for the negative sentence? We insert only not between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. There is no other confusion, there is no difficulty at all. Only we add not between the auxiliary verb, which is the was verb, and the main verb, which is the base plus ing. Along with this, we only add negation in between them. And what was for the question-based sentence? We exchange the subject and the auxiliary verb. Same students. Auxiliary verb come before the subject, and then subject, and then the main verb. This is as simple as the other sentences. There is no any difficulty. There is no any further some confusion at all. No newness is there. Only the previous concept, the previous rules are repeated again and again. So for positive sentences, I was watching TV. Was an auxiliary. Watch plus ing. Watching is the main verb. You were working. This is the auxiliary. This is the main verb. And in the negation form, only nor is used between the was and was, which is the auxiliary verb and the main verb. And in the interrogative form, only were is replaced by the subject. For example, verb will come before the you, which is the subject, and then being, which is your main verb, and then the object. So this is the same rule which is repeated again and again. The auxiliary verbs, the negations, the auxiliary verbs come before the subject. This is the main rule, student. There is no newness at all. Yes, the spelling rules for adding ing to make the past continuous tense are same as the present continuous. Remember, in the previous classes, I discussed that how we add ing in most of the word. For example, I write some example in the board. You remember, student, something like writing, how we add writing e along with the ing. So these are the examples. The rules I discussed in the present continuous tense is same as the spelling rules are discussed in the past continuous tense. Then student claims that how we use the past continuous tense. How we use the past. The past continuous tense expresses an action at a particular movement. This is the key point. At a particular movement in the past, the action started before the movement but has not finished. This is the main verb, not finished. It is an ongoing process at that moment. For example, yesterday I watched a film on TV. The film started at 7 p.m. and finished at 9 p.m. What does it mean? It means at 8 p.m. yesterday I was watching TV. At 7 p.m. it is started, and at 9 p.m. it is finished. So what is the ongoing action? At 8 p.m. between 7 and 9, at 8 p.m. yesterday I was in the action. It is ongoing. I was watching TV. So at 8 p.m. I was in the middle of the watching TV between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. Okay. When we use the past continuous tense, our listener usually knows and understands what time we were talking about. So keep in mind, before using a past continuous tense, your listener should understand what time we are talking about. For example, I was working at 10 p.m. last night. So our listener should understand that what is the time at last night. They were not playing football at 9 p.m. this morning. What were you doing at 10 p.m. last night? What were you doing when he arrived? She was cooking when I telephoned her. We were having dinner when it started to rain. Ram went home early because it was snowing. So these are some examples that your listener should understand that what time you were talking about. So some verbs cannot be used in this continuous, and remember the other name of the continuous tense is known as the progressive tense. Progressive means in the progress position, in the ongoing position, in the unfinished condition. So when there is a use of word progressive tense, so you click your mind that it is a continuous tense. So never confused and never have any confusion with this word, that what is progressive tense. We never heard this before. So progressive tense and the continuous tense is same. We often use the past continuous tense to set a scene. Yes, in telling the story, we set a scene. So we also use something like that past indefinite whenever we tell a story we use the past indefinite tense. But we also use the past continuous tense to set the scene. We use this to describe the background situation at the moment when the action begins. Often, the story starts with the past continuous tense and then moves into the simple past tense. Yes, once there was a king, he was living, something like that. We start the story with the past continuous tense, but later on we move or we converted it towards the simple past tense. Here is some example. Bond was driving through town. Was driving is a past continuous tense. It was raining. The wind was blowing hard. Nobody was walking in the street. Suddenly, Bond saw the killer in the telephone box. So saw them again. This watching, this driving, was raining, was blowing, was talking. This is all example of the past continuous tense, but it suddenly changed into saw, which is the simple past tense. So whenever we talk about some story or we discuss some story, we convert the past continuous tense into the simple past tense. So here is the something like that. Past continuous tense plus simple past tense all may be used in the combined form. That how we often use the past continuous tense with the simple past tense. We use the past continuous tense to express the long action. Remember it. We use the past continuous tense to express the long action, and when we use the simple past tense to express the short action that happened in the middle of the long action. Yes, so there is a combination of the past continuous and simple past. Whenever we talk about the long action, we express the past continuous, and whenever we talk about the short action, we use the past simple past tense. We can also join the two kinds or the two areas with when and while. So these are the some conjunctions, or you can say that the WH family, that we use these words in order to combine both these ideas. In the following example, we have two actions. For example, long action, watching TV, expressed with the past continuous tense. Yes, long action, watching TV. Short action, telephone, expressed in the past tense. So it is a very short period of time that I telephoned her. Or this is, yes, I was watching from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yes, it is a long action. So for the long action we express with the past continuous, and for the short action we express with the simple past. Something like that. Long action, I was watching TV at 8 p.m. Yes, and you telephone at 8 p.m. Short actions. Okay. We can join these two sentences with when. I was watching TV when you telephone. So was watching TV is the example of the past continuous tense, and telephone is an example of the simple past. So both these ideas are connected with the word when. So in this we use both the ideas. Notice that when you telephone, it is also the way of defining the time. Yes, it is also defined when you telephone. So at 8 p.m. Yes, you will notice that two ideas are yoked together with the use of the when. Yes, here is some other thing, that when is used along with the short action. You can say in the simple past tense, and while is used for the long action. You'll notice that when we talk about, yes, I am playing when it was raining, for the short action, and while I was reading, while I was thinking of something, so while is a long action. So and these are some important points you have to notice it down or note it down. And there are four basic combinations. When I was walking past the car when it exploded. When the car exploded, I was walking it past, and when the car exploded, while I was walking it, or while I was walking past the car, it, explore it. So these are the combination, the four basic combination that how we combine the simple past tense or the simple continuous tense. So these are the sentences that how it transfer from one sentence to another sentence. A student, you if you remember, in the first lecture in the class, I was discussed about the Noam Chomsky that he introduced the TGG, the translational grammar, generative grammars, that one sentence can be transformed into many millions and trillions of sentences or infinite sentences. So same something like that or same like that. These are the four basic combinations that how we group the two ideas of simple past and the simple past continuous tense. Notice that the long action and short actions are relative. Watching TV took a few hours. Telephone took a few hours. Yes. Walking past the car took few hours. Exploring took a few milliseconds. Yes. There is also a situation when the long action and short action are relative. But watching TV is, yes, not only for the long action. It may be for a few hours. A telephone may be a few seconds. There is a relative of time. So students, this is all about the past continuous tense. Here is some concluding points that there is the use of subject, which is I, he, she, it, you, we, they. And there is a use of auxiliary verb, which is the was verb. Was is used for the single person, singular, and were is used for the plural ones or the second person pronouns. And these are some infinitives plus along with the ing, first forms of ing, singing, playing, reading, going, writing. So this is the main structure of the past continuous tense. And what is the use of sentence we have already discussed. This is all related to the action that is held in the past, which is an ongoing situation. So this is all about the past continuous. If you have any ambiguity, any difficulty in understanding the ideas, you will contact me at Moodle. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.